this is Chris Nichols, and welcome to another episode of Buy Your Home with Nichols. If you look at the map of California and you point right in the center, you'll find that this very area, Atlantic Realty, is in the center of the state of California. I'm standing with Derek Toll from American Pacific Mortgage. Derek?
How's it going? My name is Derek Toll. I've been in the mortgage business since 2007. I have my real estate license, state mortgage license, and national mortgage license. And I've been working with this company since 2007, and the name's changed a couple of times, but we're American Pacific Mortgage now.
Let's continue this interview inside because it's getting pretty warm. Let's go.
Derek, what changes have you seen in the industry in the last 10 years in the lending in the state of California?
Mainly the biggest changes I've seen are reduction in qualifying factors such as lower interest rates, easier to qualify for programs. The documentation is still similar to when it was 2007. Everything changed after all the mortgage reform, so the documentation is still very intense, but the programs are a little more lenient for what they're allowing.
Mortgage reform, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, that was from all the bad loans that were done in the early 2000s. They changed everything, so it's more stringent documentation. They verify everything, and it's just makes it a little tougher to get financing.
Derek, when should a owner refinance their property?
They need to take a look at factors such as how much they owe on the property still, what their property's worth, their interest rate, and really it's getting a hold of a loan officer. They can take a look at the whole situation and see if it would be advantageous for them to refinance. It's usually tough for an individual to take a look at all the factors and see if it's beneficial for them.
So Derek, what are rates doing today?
Interest rates are very competitive right now. They're very low comparable to where they were in the 2010-2011 time period.
Derek, I always hear companies saying that we can give you the best rate. If I go to one lender and he quotes me a rate and to a different one, why is there always such a difference in rate comparison when one is shopping for an interest rate when buying a home?
A lot of times lenders can structure the loans to look different ways, so that's why it's always recommended to shop for loans. Usually get 2 to 3 quotes. That way you can see what kind of interest rate and what kind of cost you're getting comparable to other lenders. So for instance, somebody can have a lower interest rate and higher fees, and then vice versa. So just take a look and really see if you want a lower payment or higher closing costs, or vice versa, really what situation you want.
Have you ever had a client who said, hey, this person is going to give me a better rate, and they get a great rate, but yet they get just hit with so much closing costs? So is that something that you can do if you are willing as a consumer to up your closing cost rate? Can you actually buy down your rate? Is that possible?
Yes, you can typically pay a little bit more to buy down your interest rate. Like I said, also from that reform period, we're limited to how much the borrowers can actually pay towards their entire loan. So paying for your interest rate to buy that down, that's actually limited to a certain percentage that you're allowed to pay on loans, which is limited to a max of 3% of finance charges.
Derek, I've seen some rates be under 4%. I've seen some rates at 3.75. Can a consumer buy down their rate under that 3.75? And if they can, how low can they go? And what's the lowest you have seen in this business?
Yes, so traditionally what you're going to see advertised is going to be the interest rate par pricing is what it's termed, and so anything under that you will have to pay for it. It gets more expensive as the interest rates gets lower, and it becomes unrealistic once you try to get too low. As far as the lowest I've seen, I mean, that's hard to say because they're always constantly changing, so it's all relative based on where they're at the time.
I see. And rates are always based on someone's credit score, so the better their credit score, the better someone's interest rate's going to be.
For the most part, yeah. Typically, once you get to a 740 credit score, that's the best pricing. So anything over that, say when you get to 760, 780, 800, it's all the same kind of thing once it's over 740.
Then what is the lowest score somebody can qualify with?
Usually our programs go to 640, but we do have some new programs that go even to 600 and sometimes lower. But with those, that's more of a program if you have a lower credit score that just hasn't recovered from past derogatory issues. If you have recent derogatory issues, those programs wouldn't allow you to still qualify.
And then on my side, on the real estate side, I always have potential buyers come up and they say, Derek, is there any programs out there that are 0% down, something that's really cheap for me to get into? Is there anything out there like that, Derek?
Yeah, as far as financing everything in, there's obviously the VA that's 0 down. There's the USDA that's purchasing in rural areas, that's 0% down. And there are some other bond programs, CalHAFA, things like that, where they allow you to get other loans to cover your down payment and things like that.
And what is VA?
VA is for any veterans past military. So if you have enough service in, they allow you to purchase homes 0% down. Those are very competitive interest rates, very low, and no mortgage insurance. I think that's one of the best loans there is.
So if you serve for this country, you're telling me that you can actually get into a property at 0% down?
With no mortgage insurance, yes.
With no MI. So why isn't more people taking advantage of that?
Some people don't know about it as much or don't know all the details. So yeah, if you have the capability to use your VA loan, it's definitely beneficial.
So you said VA, and there's another one you said was a USDA?
USDA, yeah.
And what is a USDA loan?
That's purchasing in surrounding rural areas. You can actually look at, you can just search a USDA eligibility map and it'll show you eligible areas that you can purchase in with that. That's 0 down also.
So there's 2 programs out there. One, if I was military, I can get 0% down on my house or put a 0 down payment. And the other program is called USDA, but it's rural. And I think rural, I've looked at that, and it's got to be a population under 80,000 people, I believe. Is that correct?
I'm not sure the exact population count, but like I said, there is the eligibility map, and there are income restrictions on that as well, so it's not as lenient as like the VA. That's
okay. And Derek, in closing, can you tell us your best story, your most successful story, where you had a successful transaction, where it wasn't supposed to close and all of a sudden you got it done?
I'd say probably the most successful story would be one that we really just helped a borrower work on their credit for probably 3 or 4 years, and then in the end they finally came back, had qualifying credit, and we helped them get in a situation to purchase a house, and they just never thought it was going to be possible.
Let me follow up that. You made a really good point. So you said you do credit repair.
To some extent. I mean, there's credit repair companies that charge and do that whole services. A lot of times if I run credit and I see some things that I can suggest to you to improve your credit, I'll let you know, but I don't charge for credit repair or anything like that, or do services as far as that goes.
You know, when a lot of people come to me and they qualify, they always come up and say, I have so many hospital bills. I'm afraid I can't qualify because of my hospital debt. Now, is there something in there where hospital debt, is there a way around that, or does it count? Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, typically medical collections are not going to be an issue. They just view those as, if you have medical problems, it is what it is. So other debt collections may be an issue, but medical collections are a non-issue typically with home loans.
So, but with medical collections, that affects your credit.
To some extent, sometimes, yeah, with the collection sitting there, it can drag on the credit a little bit. So yeah, your score may be hurting, but it's not going to actually disqualify you.
So as a consumer, I can have stuff in medical collections, but I can still have an opportunity to qualify for a house, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
So why are more people doing this?
I think a lot of people might think that, yeah, if they have medical collections or just collections in general, that they might be disqualified, but it all depends on what type of situation it is. So
I've researched over the years, and they say 70% of people's debt, that 70% of people's debt, 40% is medical collections. Have you seen that true within your business and all the credit scores you've ran over the years?
I have seen actually quite a few medical collections over the years, and a lot of times it can even be from just a misunderstanding, a bill going to the wrong place, and even somebody who has insurance who still just gets medical collections. So I think that's why they're a little more lenient on those.
So if that's there, what would you do as a consumer to get that off, or is that something you can help a consumer with?
Yeah, I would recommend not really doing anything to mess with your credit too much. I would just say check with a professional, have somebody look at your credit that really knows what they're doing. That way they can give you the best guidance. The worst thing you want to do is changing a lot of things with your credit if you don't really know what you're doing with it.
Okay. And so, Derek, you've been in lending for a very long time, last decade. What can we expect in the next few years? What do you see happening?
Well, things we've been hearing through our bank are going to be some more lenient programs. It sounds like they're going to keep loosening up the programs so people can continue to qualify and open up the market a little more in that sense. As far as interest rates, we really don't know what direction they're going to go or what's going to happen with that. That's all on the government and where they go.
Okay. Do you expect they stay low for a while? Do you expect they increase? What do you think?
That's all with the market, whatever they do in the economy.
So if you told me if you knew what the rates were going to be, you'd be a very rich man because you'd be playing the lottery right now.
Yes.
So, Derek, thank you so much for your time. if you have any questions, Derek Toll at American Pacific Mortgage, he's been in this industry for a very long time, and if you're looking to purchase a home, he is your first line that you have to go to, and he'll get you qualified. He'll see what you qualify for. And one last closing question I have for you. You always talk about DTI. Can you tell me what DTI is?
Yeah, so your debt to income is, and just in general, your income you get from any sources compared to the debt you have. So, for example, any auto loans you have, any credit card debt you have, is going to directly take away your purchasing power for any home you're going to try and buy in the future. So I would just recommend take a look at your situation, see if you can qualify for a house before you do any other type of financing, because that's typically the most difficult to qualify for.
Okay, so I was reading the paper yesterday. A median price for a car is $37,000, or the average income for 1 year for a family of 4 in Stanislaus County. So I looked at $37,000. That's almost a $600 payment per month. $600. How much purchasing power is that in real estate, would you say?
I would estimate, that would be somewhere maybe around 80,000 or so. I'd have to really run to know, but.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Well, thank you so much for letting us have time with Derek Toll from American Pacific Mortgage. And we're really excited to help you, especially Derek, if you have any questions about lending or even refinances. Derek Toll from APM is your one-stop shop. Welcome to 1801 Loyola Avenue in Sherlock. This home here is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's over 1,500 square foot. It sits on the corner of Loyola and North Avenue, right across the street from Kroll School. Hey there, we're inside of 1801 Loyola Avenue. This home here is built 1971 from Dennis Buchanan. These are Buchanan-built homes. A feature of this home has 2 separate living rooms. A lot of homes being built today, they just have the one big open concept. These homes here actually don't have the open concept. They usually have a wall that separates living room and family room. So when you have a bigger family, it's kind of nice because if the wife is cooking and wants to watch your own show, as a man you can go to your own side and have your own show watching football, watching baseball, and you can have the wife watching cooking shows. A great thing is I actually grew up on the street as a kid, and it was a lot of fun because our house, we had the same room, but we're not allowed to go in that room. This is where all the furniture was on plastic. It was like the do not touch room. And this is what brings me back to my roots, is when I see a room like this, I'm not supposed to walk in here, and this just reminds me of it so much. So this is such a home feeling for me. In the living room, we have a gas-burning fireplace. New developments that have newer construction, the fireplaces are becoming a thing of the past. In bigger areas such as San Diego, LA, fireplaces are actually being taken out. So I'm going to say in the next 30 to 40 years, fireplaces are going to be a thing of the past because heating elements in homes work so great now. Another thing about this home is from the fireplace to the floors, you can see that the owner put in new vinyl flooring through the whole house that really contrasts and gives the fireplace just a nice warm feeling in this living room. This kitchen is of a yesteryear kitchen. When Dennis Buchanan built this home, this tile, this olive, yellow, green, this color was so popular in the 70s. People's cars were painted this color, people's houses were painted this color, you probably had pajamas in this color. So with this charmer, this color here just really just centralizes what this home is all about. It says, I'm trying to be new, but I still have some old bones about me, and this is what I see in this countertop. And this countertop is the exact same counter my parents had when I was a little kid. and it just brings me back to so many memories having dinner on like a bar stool on this countertop. You don't see this tile in the ground anymore because everything's gone to granite, everything's gone to quartz, and it's funny how the market goes in and out. So right now quartz and granite's going to come back, but this right now is used as backsplash, and subway tile is making a comeback on the backsplash itself. This master bedroom is right when the 70s started happening, and with that is the Atomic family wanted to put a bathroom inside the master bedroom. If you see any homes built before the 70s, they're always a 3-bedroom, 1-bath from 69 and earlier. Starting from 1970, the master bath came into place. So if you look to the left of me, if you can pan around here, this is what Dennis Buchanan built in here, and this was actually before its time, because this home was built in 1971. This bathroom here was kind of the start of putting the bathroom in the master bath. And what I also really enjoy about this property, if you come around me here, if you look at the closet, you can see the old built-ins. And newer construction, they actually put about 100 to 200 square foot in new houses now, just for closets alone. And so I really like the feature that this is very usable, it's very attractive. People want huge closet spaces because we are people of necessity today. We want clothes, we want shoes. But when times were more simple, we had 5-6 shirts. This was plenty. Now everything has gone to big closets, overindulgence. I'm even guilty of that because I got a huge closet. But again, this just shows me what life was like and how these homes were built. And being in this kind of era just really takes me back and humbles me a little bit about what our era and what our parents did before us and how hard they worked to get what we have today, which is quite a bit. The greatest feature about these Buchanan built homes are the size of the yards. You don't find these yards anymore unless you go to smaller surrounding areas outside of Turlock. When Dennis Buchanan built these homes, he said, let's make sure that these families have a place for the children to play with. As you can see behind me, the yard is so deep, so far back. And a great thing about these yards is you can actually take down the fence and put RV in it. There's actually room for an RV. In our area, a lot of people like to go boating, fishing, hunting, camping. And these are why these homes are so sought after, because it has more room. On the back side of me, you have North Avenue, and you can actually take the fence down and put your RV on this way. Or behind me on this side, you have an alley, and you come right in here. So you really have the best of both worlds. You have the house, you have the yard, and you have just the great location on top. So this here at 1801 Loyola Avenue today is $329,000. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Chris Nichols at Atlantic Realty. Hey there, welcome to 4701 East Monte Vista Avenue in Janeiro, California. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath is 1,200 square feet, and it sits right in the heart of Janeiro, California. We are standing in the living room of 4701 East Monte Vista Avenue. This home has been well taken care of, well maintained, and if you look around, we have recessed lighting, we have earth tone paint, we have wood floors. This home has been updated and well cared for, and it's under $300,000 for the Janeiro area, which doesn't happen too often. This kitchen here has been updated with Samsung appliances, beautiful white finishings with hardware, and the countertops give a great contrast when you have white cabinets, dark floors, dark cabinets, and if you can look above me, You have a white painted wood ceiling, which makes this kitchen very inviting. And to your left, my right, you have an 8-cabinet pantry for anything you think you can cook up. So this is great storage. Storage is very hard to find these days. So if you have a kitchen with a double cabinet in this for a pantry, you could be stocked for days. Puts baby in corner, unless it's channel 26. They put Chris in the corner. And I'm standing in the corner of the master bedroom on 4701 East Monte Vista in Janeiro. Again, this home is only $299,000. This home has been well maintained, well cared for, and to find anything under the $300,000 range in Janeiro, it's very hard to find. Now with this room here, it does have the traditional master. You do have the bathroom with a shower stall up on it, and you have 2 bedrooms in the back. This home has a new roof that was just installed 4 months ago, and it has a new AC system. When you walk into this house, it actually feels like 65 degrees, even though it's 100 degrees outside. This is one of the most comfortable homes temperature-wise I've ever been in. The cold air just hits you, and when people like to sleep, they like to sleep with the air a little bit colder. And when you have a new system in, you can utilize that system. And when you walk in, it's just such a refreshing and just a breath of fresh air when you come into here. And you know, even the crew that's with us, they said, "Oh wow, this is such a great home," and it feels like it. It shows, and it's right here. Oh, hey there. Welcome to the backyard of 4701 East Monte Vista, Janeiro, California. This backyard is absolutely stunning. I tried to rake the 4 leaves that were on the ground because the sellers here take pride in what they have. If you can see behind me, this yard is absolutely gargantuan. This yard can fit a pool, a basketball court, a tennis court, multiple things, as you can tell. So if you would like to see this home today, please give me a call, Chris Nichols at Atlantic Realty. My phone number is 209-777-2390, or please look me up on my website at wehelpeverybody.com. And I always want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and visiting our show, Buy Your Home with Nichols. Thank you so much. We're standing in front of Sterling Ranch Community Park in the JKB subdivision. I'm showing you this park because it sits 1 block of 4701 East Monte Vista Avenue. So if you have a family, you can check right behind me and come to this great area. There's a lot of building, there's a lot of development going on. As you can see, there's a lot of families around me as well. We're standing in Jeffrey Court subdivision in Janeiro. These are custom built homes. These homes range from 4,000 to 7,000 square foot on half-acre lots, and they start at $850,000 and they go up to $1.2 million right here in Janeiro, California. I'm standing at Donnelly Park. As you can see behind me, this is a playground. It's got a skate park, a lake. Donnelly Park has been here since the 1950s, and this park has been home to many people through the years. This park has just a plethora of people that come through it, and the great thing about this park is there's a lot of Canadian geese. Canadian geese are great here, but for your pools at home, make sure Canadian geese stay out of your pool.
As you can see behind me, there's probably geese all around this place. Problem with these geese is they actually create droppings everywhere that can be hazardous to the water that you swim in. So if you see a Canadian goose in your property, make sure you get out as quick as you possibly can, and you're supposed to really enjoy these type of creatures in an atmosphere and environment just like this one. I'm standing here with my grandmother, Conceição Gomes. She's from Portugal. Grandma, what island from Portugal are you from?
Madeira.
And what is your town called that you are from?
As Sodas de Cruz, the Porto Manuís.
And what year did you come to this country?
1944.
1944?
Uh-huh.
And I have a question to ask you. When you met your husband at the time, how long did you meet until you got married?
Before I got married,
How long did you date?
a year.
A year?
Oh no, 4 months.
4 months?
4 months.
So I happened because of 4 months?
4 months.
So, coming here to this country from Portugal, what is this country meant to you?
It was a beautiful country. I can't kneel the floor and kiss this country. How beautiful it was. And I really enjoy America. And I hope that people feel the same way like I do. Because it's very important for the future of these children.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This concludes another episode of By Your Home with Nichols. And this is my grandmother, Connie Gomes.